Alright, back to the orders phase. Hopefully no random unit marker. It's an artillery marker, alright, but a regular one. And the second one is a tank marker, alright. So let's see. That matches up at either fire or move. We are not able to give fire orders just yet, but we can issue move orders. To a whole platoon, which I don't want to do. I will issue an order to QB, I think. That's the one with the night vision damage. To move into Overwatch right at Sarachi. Alright, then we move these guys over here. There's a tank marker now. Do we want to issue further orders? I would think so, yes. Let's do one more. It is, a double strike by ATGMs and another. Okay, so that ends the segment anyways, the order phase. It allows us to issue another move order. Let's issue a move order to second platoon leader BQ to also move into Overwatch. Now we move these two over to the order track. And then we go into execution phase. First of all, we will move the first vehicle into checkpoint 3. The stacking limit does not allow the other units to follow up, so they are basically here in the bottleneck. The road is getting thin. There is a bridge here, as you can see, small one. So they stay. Then QL3 moves up to the northern edge of Miljanovci on its path to Overwatch position north. And then let's first roll to see if GB is allowed to move. Double check again. -1 modifier for each adjacent UN position occupied. Well, there's only one. I'm not quite sure how to count that. I would think they all apply, right? It's 1, 2, 3, 4. So a +4 we wouldn't be able to roll 4 or more anyway. So then these guys move into Overwatch here. And BQ moves into Overwatch as well. Mind you, they are still unable to actually shoot at the enemy, of course. But that's a different story, I guess. Okay, everybody did move. Then it's to the enemy reaction phase. This time there is a tank marker there. So on a 6 they will turn hot. No, it's a 2, that's nothing. Then ATGMs. Oh wait, we also have to draw another activation enemy action chit thingy here, which is this one. Again, ATGMs and HMGs on the next position, because let me show you. This tank advanced into an exposed position, so we have to determine which units would potentially shoot at it. And as we now have an enemy ATGM shooting, which will hit on 10 or more, we have to determine the priority of it. And the priority is now the lowest priority number, which is 7 in this case. So the ATGM will be shooting there. It rolled a 9, which means they missed. However, as they were shooting, rules of engagement +1. Next is the heavy machine gun, and I think it will now shoot at this position, if I'm not mistaken. Let me know in the comments if that's the case. Determine randomly, so that's even and odds. It's even, so the platoon leader is under fire by heavy machine guns. They are hitting on a 12. It's a 10, so very close, but not a hit. However, rules of engagement is now on, on 7. Then we go to artillery, and as you can see, that marker basically says the same as the one before. Targeting Srirachi, +1 ROE and +1 random unit. So swapping back to Srirachi, a look who is there. And remember now that these guys who moved out actually are considered to be in Srirachi too. So first thing we do, roll 2 dice. It's a 5, so that's not a heavy damage. That means one of these two, who is there? Yeah, one of these 2 markers, random damage shots, which is not in the cup yet, goes in there. Then we increase the rules of engagement, which also means we get this one, special order marker, and what that means I will discuss in a minute. And eventually one more random unit, and there's only one left for those units which are in that area. Alright. Mix those up very well. And advance the turn marker, turn 4 that is now. Alright, first shot drawn is a heavy machine gun. And the second one is an ATGM, which matches up as fire. However, I don't think we are at a point where we already want to necessarily open fire, so I will ignore it, move these markers over to the track. Should we draw again? I would like to get, well, platoon leader, second platoon to Overwatch, and squadron leader to move up. Or maybe not just yet, but the platoon leader would be nice. So let's try one more. And it is a damage marker for FB, which is actually the platoon leader, second platoon. So let's roll over there on that table. 1 die for light damage. It's a 1. A 1 is a radio damage. Yes, so limited communications now. We have a radio damage marker here. That means in order to receive or relay orders, they have to roll a 1 or a 2, I think. Okay. Well, let's try and get more orders out. Machine gun. And machine gun, which is a move order, that's what we were looking for. And we will order... Well, now I'm wondering if we should order that guy forward. Let's rather order... Oops. The squadron commander to Kalesia. I think that makes more sense. And then we can try to get the leader into position later on. But it's already very interesting from a narrative viewpoint how the situation escalates and how chaotic it is. Historically, it was actually the case that they didn't realize that their radio and night visions were damaged until they got into, and that they were actually under artillery fire until they get stuck. around there, which is, yeah, fascinating. All right. No airstrike, then we go to move orders. So this guy continues, which means we have to draw the last remaining chit. Okay, tanks and ATGMs, that's harsh. And this guy continues to this checkpoint. This guy is stuck here. The QL3 will go to Overwatch position to coordinate the indirect fire, which is great. And then we have QL1 advancing into zone 1, where he is not exposed. So now we have only like VL2, that's us, left there. And I think I didn't do that in the proper order, but I think, and it won't change much anyway, I think I will order us to move, which we can do for free. Alright, and I also wanted to discuss the special order which we received due to the escalation of rules of engagement. We can either order draw their fire or give an extra order. Is that correct that this is the order for VL2? Yes, it is. It is. Okay. Let's see under which conditions we are able to give them. So, for the extra order, we need to be with that vehicle in OP North, which, I mean, I guess I should have put this down. I ordered them to go there. I don't think we are allowed to change that necessarily. So, but I also don't want them to be there. Oh, it would have been nice. The other one is draw their fire, which is only available if VL2 reaches Calicia and applies a -1 DRM to all indirect fire directed at any vehicle as Calicia Overwatch checkpoint 4 or T21. So that is Calicia, all those Overwatch positions, this or this. Yeah, okay. I mean, that's pretty cool. And once we've used that, they are spent, but as soon as we draw 2 identical enemy weapons chits, then we get it back. That's how those work, in case you were wondering. Alright, so almost done. We have to then go into enemy activation, or reaction it's called. And first of all, we check for the tanks. On a 6 they go hot. It's a 3, they don't. Okay, so then next is anti-tank guided missiles. The lowest priority is the 7, which would be platoon, first platoon. Let me see. Let me adjust so that you can actually see what's going on. So the lowest priority is 7 at the moment. So they will be shooting at leader first platoon with ATGMs, which will be hitting on... Now, is the -1 already applied because we have the guy up there in OP North? I think it is, isn't it? Okay, UN vehicles in Overwatch positions had line of sight to ATGM launchers, helping other tanks avoiding the missiles. Apply a -1 to the die roll of any ATGM attack if a UN vehicle occupies an Overwatch position, matching the area location shown in the last ATGM marker. So this is, right, this is how it works. Yes, yes, yes. And then, right, okay, now I remember. What this does, that we have QL3 and Overwatch North, is that the indirect fire is always a hit, not only on a 6, I think. Or anything but a 6. Yeah, anything but a 6. Anything but a 6. Alright, so, but we have a tank in Overwatch Center, so they see the guided missile coming. So that's a -1. So the enemy needs 11 or more, and it's a 4, which is nothing, but as they did fire, that increases the rules of engagement escalation. Next up is heavy machine gun, and again is on the 7. They are hitting on 12. It's an 8 though, so that's nothing. Then we go to artillery. They are still firing at the Rachi. So first of all, see if it's a heavy damage, which it's not. Only on a 12 it is. So this means draw a marker and add it to the enemy weapons pool. But I don't think... Oh well, the FB marker is the only one eligible at the moment, so it goes back into the enemy orders cup. And then we advance the turn marker to turn 5. We have still not suffered any heavy damage, which is quite good. We have managed to advance with relatively few orders, which is also good. So I'm curious to see how this continues. Alright, turn 5, order segment. First shit, heavy machine gun. Second shit, random damage. It's FB again! Oh no, I just put him in there. Okay, roll a die. It's a 1. The radio is hit again. Reroll in case the result is a damage already sustained. It's a 4. Night vision. Now they have radio damage and night vision damage on this one. So that's a bit of an issue. Hard to get them moving again. Alright, anyway, at least that marker is out of the box or the cup. And next is another, okay, that ends the segment already. Another heavy machine gun, which allows us to issue a move order to a platoon, which we don't want to do. I mean, the only move order that I really think we should be doing is now trying to get FB into an Overwatch position. So that will be interesting. And because they have radio damage, I have to roll a die first. It's a 1 or 2, so they receive the order. Hooray! Hooray! But yeah, I mean, getting them to move will be an issue. Alright, let's move these markers first. Onto the HMG display, like so. First thing that's happening is EA, first platoon, first vehicle will enter Coliseum. So their order becomes available again. Then platoon leader, first platoon moves to checkpoint 4. This guy, checkpoint 3. Squadron leader moves up, as does VL2, which is us. QL3 is stationary, and then we go to FB down here. First vehicle, second platoon. And in order for them to move, we need to roll 1 to 3. However, the die roll will be modified by 1, 2, only 2, but it's a 1, so the guy is actually able, even though he doesn't see shit, he's moving into Overwatch, which is great. Alright, then enemy reaction. First rolling on the tanks, still need a 6 to go hot. It's a 3, so that's nothing, that's great. And then now ATGMs fires, and they can't fire into these Overwatch positions, so they can't fire into Coliseum itself. So those are out. Then the lowest priority is 7 again, so this time on FA, second vehicle, first platoon. However, we do have, that's firing from, the JIT is firing from the center, so we have a vehicle in Overwatch there, so that's a -1, so they need an 11 to hit. It's Snake Eyes. I don't think there's an effect on that, but if we were firing with these Overwatch guys and all of them rolled a 1, the ammo supply dump would be exploding actually. So that's interesting. Okay, next up is the HMG, and it will be shooting, still needs a 12 to hit. It will be shooting at this guy too, I think. I have to double check that in a minute now, but it's a 3, so that's nothing. However, both did shoot, so that's an escalation of 2, and another special order, additional order becomes available, which is an extra turn or direct their fire. QL3, let's see, direct their fire. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do, because an extra turn, they would have to move to Calasia for the extra turn. Direct fire allows to make indirect fire from the Rachi Overwatch positions automatically successful. The ammo depot effect still applies. Okay, that's good. So once we finally switch to open fire at will, these guys will cry havoc on the enemy firing positions, and that's good. That's really good. Okay, so then artillery is the last thing. First we have to roll for heavy damage. It's a 6, so no heavy damage, and the only applicable random damage marker, light damage marker, is unfortunately the one for FB once again, who has already lost radio and night vision. Alright, then we will move up the rules of engagement, and another random unit, but there is none that would be applicable to be put in there, so we don't do that, which means we move into turn 6 with the next order phase. Alright then, turn 6 orders. Is there actually anybody we want to order? Do we have to draw at least one? Oh well, yeah, we should start ordering this guy. Or do we want to wait until first platoon is in Calasia? Maybe not. Okay, so we need at least one move order, I think. Ooh, tanks. Tank order. And an ATGM, which matches up at fire or move a single vehicle. Well, that's fitting. Question is now, do we want to move this guy into an Overwatch position, or do we want to order him to move to Tango 2? Let's order EA to move to Tango 2 for the sake of it, and bring those guys over like so. So the tanks will now activate on 5 to 6. But there's no other order I want to give at the moment. For draw their fire, they have to be over there. No, that's all. Let's go into execution. So then move up here to checkpoint T2, which will then cause us to draw a chit for that, which is priority 3. All weapons. I repeat, all weapons. Oh my god, that's that might be tough there. Well, let's hope the best. Anyway, this guy continues into Calasia, that's AQ. This guy moves up to checkpoint 4, SK4. Squadron leader moves up, and VL2 is still in zone 2 down here on the road, stuck on the road. Which basically means we go into execution phase. We did that. Enemy reaction phase then. Enemy reaction phase, and I will now shortly pause and double check if different weapon types shoot at the same position again and again. Yeah, that's absolutely correct. Each weapon type might be attacking the same target over and over during the same turn. Okay, so first of all, we have to check if the tanks go hot. No, they don't. Very fortunate for us. Then next up would be ATGMs, a single ATGM, and the lowest priority number now is this tank, priority 3, and it's shooting from center, right? Isn't it? Or is that considered to be part of the left? Anyway, we do have a tank in Overwatch, so it's a -1 on the die roll, which is then an 8. That's a miss, but as they did fire, that increases rules of engagement a level by 1. And then the heavy machine gun will also fire at this tank. They need a 12 still. It's a 7, which increases rules of engagement by. Then we go to artillery. They're still firing at Sarachi. That's not a direct hit. Or heavy damage hit. And there are no random units markers that would be applicable for Sarachi. So the only thing we do is increase rules of engagement to 15. 15. Once we reach 18, we can then order to open fire at will. Alright, that done. Advance the turn marker, turn 7, and so far it's going pretty smoothly, I will say that, but it might, things might turn rather quickly anyway, right? So let's continue with turn 7, that is, and orders. Order. Oh, it's an artillery marker on Kalesia, and it is ATGM, and they match up as a fire platoon order, which we don't want. Did we actually want to give any orders? Well, yeah, 1 move order for this guy. Whoops. So artillery fire shifts to Kalesia now. Alright, that's that. Let's try one more, I think. Okay, and interesting. ATGM and heavy machine gun match up as fire again, which we don't really need. This now gets the ATGM into 9 or more to hit. No, let's not push it. Let's take it easy. Let's go into the execution phase, which means EA is moving to checkpoint T2, which means we need to draw an enemy action chit and put it on the random side. This one. This is the new priority, all weapons. This guy doesn't have orders. This guy will reach Kalesia and be subject to enemy artillery fire. Squadron lead moves to checkpoint SK4. VL2, that's the commander, to SK3. Down here nobody's moving anyway. So that's all moves. We don't have fire orders. That means we go straight into enemy reaction. First thing to do is to check the tanks. On 1, they do not go hot. ATGM will shoot at EA, because they will shoot there anyway. They're shooting from the left, from this area. And we have someone in Overwatch who was able to see that and warn this vehicle So they need an 11. That's a 6, so that's nothing. And the HMG will also shoot there. It rolls an 8, however it needs a 9 or more. So that's a miss. Then the artillery goes down on Kalesia now. First rolling to see if it is heavy damage. It is not, which is great. Draw a marker. And the vehicles currently there are A, Q, and FA. Draw one, put it in the enemy weapons cup. Did that. Next we do is increase the ROE. Or did I actually do that for these attacks? I think I did not. Oh, I don't think I did. That would mean we are in 18 right now. And that's the turn. We continue with turn 8, but I will double check if I applied the escalation of rules of engagement.